This story is about a giant man versus a giant faith. Can you imagine coming face to face with a giant? It would probably be more like your face next to his waist. Giants are so tall. Can you imagine how big his hands and his feet would be? I've never seen a giant, but I know a true story in the Bible about a giant who lived thousands of years ago. He was mean and horrible, and everyone was very afraid of him. Everyone but a boy named David. Aaron was shivering with fright and cold. It was early in the morning, and he could hear the terrible giant, Goliath was his name, shouting horrible insults about the Israelites. His voice was so loud, it even shook the ground. And Aaron had watched even the big grown men trying to stand up to him and be brave, but they all ran away in fear when Goliath drew his sword. Aaron was not a soldier. He was only a helper, bringing water to the soldiers and helping them clean their swords. When is someone ever going to be brave enough to kill this giant? Aaron thought every day. Aaron thought about the green hills near his home, the flocks of sheep, and his best friend David. Often David would play his harp, which is a musical instrument, and he would sing songs about God. Just listening to those songs that David sang strengthened Aaron's faith. But now he was homesick, lonely, and afraid. Just then he heard someone calling his name. "Aaron, is that you?" Aaron could not believe his ears. He looked up and he saw David running toward him. "My dad sent me to bring food for my brothers," David said. "I know where they are," Aaron said, smiling. "Just follow me." David looked around excitedly as they entered the Israelite camp. He caught sight of the battlefield. "Wow, I can't believe I'm really here," said David. "This is very different from minding my father's sheep." They could even hear Goliath in the distance, shouting insults to the army of Israel. As David and Aaron walked by the soldiers, they could feel the fear in the air. Aaron whispered to David, "David, I don't think anyone is brave enough to fight that giant." David could not believe it. Who does this pagan think he is anyway? Going against the armies of our living God? Don't the soldiers know that our God is stronger than the giant? King Saul was in his beautiful tent at the edge of the battlefield, sitting on a carved wooden throne and surrounded by all his generals and advisors. When he sent for David, David entered the tent confidently, saying, "Your Majesty, don't worry about this Philistine giant. I am going to fight him." King Saul could not believe it. His eyes widened in amazement. He couldn't believe David was so bold. "Don't be ridiculous. There is no way that a little boy like you can fight this Philistine giant and win. You are only a boy, and he has been fighting since he was young." King Saul turned to walk away from David, but David cried out, "I have been taking care of my father's sheep and goats. Whenever a wild animal comes to steal a lamb, I go after it with a club and I rescue the lamb from the animal's mouth. I've killed lions and even bears, and I will kill this giant too, because he has spoken against the army of God." Remember, David loved God and had faith in him. "The Lord who rescued me," David said, "from the claws of the lion and the bear, he will rescue me from this Philistine giant." King Saul sighed, and he turned back. "What other option do I have? All the soldiers are afraid." He motioned for his servants to come and bring his armor and spear for David to use. Aaron was so proud of his friend David. But when David put on the king's armor, he collapsed into a heap on the floor. It was too big and heavy. Aaron had to put his hand over his mouth to stop his laughter. As David crawled out from under all the heavy armor, he turned to King Saul And he said, "O king, I can't wear your armor. I have to fight the giant my way. Come and help me choose 5 good stones," David said to Aaron. And they walked from King Saul's tent to a little stream nearby. David had his shepherd's staff, which is like a big walking stick, and he had his sling. When David saw Goliath the giant, he was very brave. But Goliath sneered with disgust at this cute little boy. And the giant roared, "Do you think I'm just a dog that you can fight with your stick?" He yelled ugly things at David. And then he roared, "Come over here, and I will give your body to the birds and the animals." If a giant said that to you, you would be afraid, wouldn't you? Waiting in the side, Aaron became very worried, and he prayed for his friend. He said, "Dear God, please help David. Goliath looks so big and strong, and David is so small. But I know you are stronger than anyone. Please help David win the battle." To the amazement of the Israelite soldiers, David didn't run away like they did. He said to Goliath, "You come at me with a big sword and a spear and even a javelin, but I come to you in the name of the Lord, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have been insulting and saying ugly things to. Everyone who is here will know that the Lord rescues his people, but not with a sword and a spear. This is the Lord's battle, and he will give you to us," said David. He reached into his little shepherd's bag, and he took out one of the 5 stones. Just as Aaron had seen David do dozens of times, he swung the sling above his head in a tight circle and sent the stone flying into the air, straight toward Goliath. As the stone found its mark, right in the middle of Goliath's forehead, the giant's head snapped back. The air was quiet and still as the giant toppled and then slowly fell like a tree with a crash into the ground. Aaron felt the ground shake as the giant's body hit the dirt, sending a cloud of dust into the air. Then the field was silent no longer. The sounds of thousands of pounding feet filled Aaron's ears as the rest of the Philistines' army ran away. The Israelite soldiers let out loud cheers of victory, grabbed their weapons and gave chase. Oh, the rejoicing that was in the camp that day. Aaron and David were so happy. And Aaron said to David, "I knew you could do it. I knew God would help you." David laughed and he said, "I knew God could do it too." Aaron nodded and sent up a silent prayer. "God, you won the battle for him. Thank you." How do you think David felt defeating that big giant? Do you believe God will help you fight your battles? Maybe you have to go into a different school and make new friends. Maybe you're going to the dentist and you're a little scared. These are battles that God can help you with. David had faith. Faith is trusting in God completely. Even if your faith is very small, just like David was, each time we use it, it grows bigger and bigger. You can be a mighty person just like David. Just put your faith in God and live to please him. You can hear more about the story of Goliath in the Bible in a book called Samuel, 1 Samuel chapter 17. Thank you so much for letting me share this story with you. Always remember, God loves you, he's in your heart, and all you have to do is carry faith with you. Whatever your battle is, God will be there to help you.